Welcome back to video number 3. Yes, I know that this, picture has nothing to do with them, but I just like the headline. The royals have been quite busy and neglected by me because I was looking at the Nigerian tour. So let's catch up, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start off with Princess Anne and her lovely husband, Sir Tim Lawrence, because Anne is the patron of the Wellington Trust. And she went to a dinner on the HMS Wellington, which, by the way, was commissioned in 1934. And she went there to mark the ship's 19th anniversary. This took place on May 14th. The day before that, on May 13th, Princess Anne is also the Admiral of the Sea Cadet Corps, Marine Society, and Sea Cadets, okay? So she went to Stonehaven and District New Headquarters on the 13th, and while she was there, she got to cut what looks like an absolutely gorgeous cake. Just as an FYI, she was there to do an official inauguration of the new Stonehaven Sea Cadets Unit premises. Woo, a lot of words. That's located at the town's harbor. Let's move on to King Charles. He unveiled his first official portrait since the coronation. And what I like is what this particular Twitter user pointed out, that embedded in the picture in the background is all kinds of like butterflies and stuff. And as you can see, our fabulous body language guy, the Royal Rogue, did the pictures and changed the background color to try to make some of the stuff in the back pop out. There's a bee, there's deer, there's butterflies. I actually, as crazy as it sounds, I like the red on red, even though it makes the jacket blend in. I really like this color though, this kind of yellowish, greenish one. This portrait was painted by artist Jonathan, I think you pronounce it Yeo, Y-E-O. It was actually commissioned in 2020 to celebrate the king, who was then the Prince of Wales, 50 years as a member of the Drapers Company. And that's why in the painting, he's wearing the uniform of the Welsh Guard, of which he was the regimental commander, or colonel, I should say, since 1975. It is 8.5 feet by 6.5 feet framed, and the size was considered because they wanted it to fit within the architecture of Draper's Hall, because that's where it was going to be hanging. And it took the king 4 sittings with him to do this. And of course, the sittings all took place while he was the Prince of Wales. All right, let's move on. Moving on, but still with King Charles, he actually did his first investiture of the year at Windsor Castle. And one of the first people he did, there were 52 recipients, by the way, but one of the first people that he honored was Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, who described last year's coronation as deeply moving. He was made a Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order for his role in the event. Congratulations to everybody. Now, one more little bit of information about the king. He revealed while he was with William that since he's having his cancer treatments, he has lost his sense of taste. That also could have something to do with the weight loss. Trust me, I lost my sense of taste and smell when I was battling COVID, and I did not want to eat, and that's why I dropped so much weight. It's crazy. All right, let's continue. Really quick, I find this headline laughable because as it turns out, it was the other way around. Harry didn't ask to be seen, and Harry, snubbed the royal residence he was offered. All right, now, King Charles went to his 4th royal engagement in 48 hours. He went with Camilla to St. Paul's Cathedral for it's called a service of dedication for the Order of the British Empire. This is how you do it when you're royal. First of all, they were wearing pink rose. They're called rose pink robes. They're called mantles. Okay. And of course, King Charles was wearing his naval uniform underneath. And they went to the event with over 2,000 people who were holders of various royal honors. This award recognizes the work from people from all walks of life. Now, originally, it was established in 1917 to reward outstanding contributions to the First World War effort. So now it's been expanded. The congregation had people from the UK and the Commonwealth and honorary award holders. It was, completely full. That, my friends, is how you pack St. Paul's Cathedral. Look at that. His page of honor, in case you don't recognize him, is Lord Oliver Cholmondeley. I believe that's Rose's son. Looking good. I, for one, am taking all of this, the fact that he did 4 things in 48 hours, I am taking that as a sign that Charles is well on his way to recovery. I think he looks fabulous. I think Camilla looks fabulous. And yeah, I think he's going to be around for quite some time. I'm beyond excited. All right, let's move on now. Let's move on to just Camilla. Last week, we had International Nurses Day, and so Camilla visited the Royal London Hospital, where she met part of the air ambulance team to talk about life-saving services that they provide to London. Now, of course, duh, along with meeting the air ambulance crew, she also went through the hospital. She met patients, she met nursing staff. This blue dress that she's wearing, we've seen it multiple times before. I personally think Camilla looks the best in blue. That's just a really good color for her. A big thank you to Remula. It's also, as usual, for showing us everything that Camilla was wearing. Let's go back now to, I believe it's May 12th. Zara competed on day 5 of the badminton horse trials at the Badminton Estate in Gloucestershire. She looks absolutely fabulous up on that horse. 3 children and a life like hers. Whew. Anyway, she was seen holding her son. I believe his name is Lucas, and Mike was caught carrying children around as well. While they were there, Zara actually gave an interview and talked about her husband, talked about the kids. I thought that was really nice. Now, of course, she was seen in casual wear while at the horse trials as well. I just love her. Now, Camilla was also seen at the badminton trials. First of all, she gave a little 10-year-old girl a stuffed pony during the final day from the Beaufort Pony Club. And she was spotted with Peter Phillips, his daughters Isla and Savannah, in the bleacher area. And notice the dress she's wearing. So I think she just went from one event to the next. Let's move on to 2 of my favorite people, Prince Edward and Sophie. They were the very first people to visit Queen Elizabeth's memorial statue. They went to Rutland and they saw a bunch of landmarks across Oakham, including Oakham Castle. They met children from the local primary school. They were very busy. Sophie was, of course, dressed as elegant as Edward. They arrived by helicopter and they went to Oakham Castle just after 11 a.m., where first they met children from the local primary school. Then, after being welcomed by the leader of the town council and presented a double horseshoe, which apparently is a tradition for royals that visit there, I'd never heard of that. Then they moved on to the next area. Edward went to speak to locals at a salon, and they were sitting at an umbrella on the side, and he saw them and just decided he was going to go over and chat them up. That's one of the things I loved about them. They're so personable. You guys have to give it to these crowds. These people do not have to stand out in the rain for extended periods of time trying to just catch a glimpse of these 2. If anything, I think that really drives home the fact that they are very, very popular and people really like them. Like, people just want to be around them, want to see them, want to say hello to them, want to touch them. Can you blame them? I mean, especially these 2. They're just so nice. As they were done with all the other niceties, Edward and Sophie went to the town's library, which is now home to the very first memorial statue of Queen Elizabeth. Now, of course, we know I've talked about this statue before. It is a 7-foot bronze statue, and it's got the corgis around the bottom, which of course Sophie had to pet because she couldn't help herself. Now, this statue shows the queen much younger. Apparently she was only like 5'4" in real life, quite small. But it looks like a lovely statue, and I'm sure Edward was touched by the statue. They're also saying, by the way, this is a very big thing for corgi lovers. They like to go there. And a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, as usual, for showing us everything that they were wearing. Next up, sticking with Sophie, on May 15th, she went to the Seashell Trust in, I hope I'm saying this right, Cheadle. This is a place that supports children and young adults with complex learning difficulties, disabilities, communication needs from across the UK. Here she is greeting former student Molly Murphy, who's now a fundraising and engagement ambassador. Of course, she went down, she met a lot of the children. They were all very, very excited to see her. At one point, she was in what appears to be some sort of a gym where she got to meet and engage with some of the kids. I mean, it looks like a gym to me. Then at one point, she went in and listened into a music class. And then, Sophie, she has to get right into the middle of it. Now, while she was there as well, she used a spade to basically cut into the earth because there's going to be a new construction site there. And then she got on an adaptive tricycle. It's from a group called Ice Tricycles Limitless, and they provide bicycles for able-bodied and adaptive use as well. And of course, Sophie, she hopped right on one of those and she did a ride on the track. She seemed to get into it. Maybe a little bit of a race started. Can you blame her? She was on the racetrack there. She's so competitive. I just love her. She got some beautiful, items. And thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us what she was wearing. Moving on. Let's move on back to Edward again. He went to the Combined Cavalry Old Comrades Association annual parade and memorial service in Hyde Park on May 12th. He took the salute while he was there, and veteran and reserves attended together. The drum horse Juno was there, and the Welsh Cavalry pony mascot. I only have one thing to say about this. Whatever happened to society that men don't dress like that anymore with the bowler hats and the jackets and the ties looking all spiffy? Instead, you've got these men walking around with their pants hanging off their rear ends. Moving on. And we're going to finish with the Duchess of Gloucester because she has been the patron of the Medical Women UK for 40 years, and she attended their conference. She opened the conference, listened to the presentations, and she met people from, student doctors all the way up to consultants. All right, guys, you know what to do. I love those comments. Make them good. Don't forget to go into the description box. You'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, my Amazon wish list, and Finn's channel. If you've donated anything to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.